Welcome back to Just Another Car Show. My name is Sam and we are back here working on the drift car again. Just to recap from last episode, we got the engine in the car for the first time. It's the mock-up engine, but it is a engine. And we've now ordered an oil pan for that thing, which should be coming in somewhat soon. But we got some more things we need to do before the engine is actually ready to run. We need to do some front suspension bits. I actually have an entire front suspension system for this car that is going to be going on it, and I'm waiting on parts, so why not do it right now? Okay, so why are we replacing the front suspension on this car? S13 stock stuff is apparently known as being really good. Well, there's a few reasons. We want angle and we want to be able to do it well without clearance problems and all that. We also really want to be able to change our alignment specs and really tune the car with the suspension, which is something I've seen like Adam LZ, Chelsea Genofa do, that I think is super cool and I'd love to learn. And so this will hopefully be the car we get to play with that stuff on. We have a problem where right now we have cut spindles. So we're able to turn somewhat far, but we got a couple limitations. We're almost hitting the inside camber arm, as well as on this side, as you can see, it's not able to come out as far enough and it's almost touching our firewall. So we need to do something about that because that is a huge issue. Plus, as you can see at angle, we have a huge camber gain, which we could also fix with suspension. So there's a few things we want to do to mess with this, and that's where all the new parts come in. We have new lower control arms from GK Tech, which are a max 25 mil extension, a minimum of stock. We are probably going to end up putting about 20 mils extension into this thing, as well as we have new caster arms, which are these arms right here that kind of swing inward, and that way we won't hit the tire with the car. Another thing we're gonna do at the end of this thing too is we're also gonna hook up the sway bar, which in last episode we put in the sway bar. We just didn't put in the links that link it up to the control arms. Time is going to be pulling all of this off, tires, control arms, and all of it, and putting on a nice new system. And then we might end up ordering more of an angle kit because I don't know if this is enough yet, but we'll know fairly soon. Okay, let's have a little conversation about suspension, and specifically alignment specs and geometry. McPherson strut systems like this are actually very common, where you have one single thing on top, two bolts underneath, and then you have a lower control arm and a caster arm. This is a very common setup for most suspension things in like BMWs and S chassis specifically. The drifting world loves this. It is very simple, which makes alignments very easy, but you still do have a lot of adjustment inside of that. And there's a lot of things you have to fix if you start to mess too far to one direction or too far to another. The main thing we're replacing, obviously, is our lower control arms. These lower control arms are adjustable. So you can see if you unscrew back here, this guy extends out. All the way in on this guy is the stock length of a control arm. All the way out is 25 millimeters. Some people run even more aggressive setups up into like the 40s and 50s. We're not gonna go that far yet. We have no idea how this stuff works, so this is gonna be a fun thing. We also have a ball joint we're gonna be putting in here that is extended. What the extended ball joint does is correct for roll center. The roll center is a very important part of every car's handling, not just drifting, but mostly actually in road racing, where it's the mechanical way your car sways and rolls back and forth. Yes, there are things called sway bars that adjust how far the car can roll in either direction before it picks up a tire, but there is also mechanical sway bars in a sense. F1 cars and Indy cars and some that don't run sway bars, they just run very adjustable suspension to change the roll center on their cars. We're basically gonna be doing that. We're gonna be raising the roll center up on this, which will reduce the body roll because that's a pivot over top of everything. So if it sits up here, it's harder to get that pivot over. Where it sits here, it's easier to pivot across because we are lowering the car, which lowers the raise center. Just as it goes, I have a fun little graphic I'll probably find to put on the screen here. The other part we're gonna be putting on is this. This is our new caster arms. These caster arms are, again, made by GK Tech, and they are fully adjustable. What they do is they go in place over here, and one, they have a cutout for the tire, so the tire is not gonna touch and the wheel. Plus, on top of that, the more you can adjust your camber in or out, adjust extremely how your car steers. A lot of positive camber, aka when this guy is pushed out this way, gives you a lot of self-centering steering, which a lot of people like, and then less gives you less. We're gonna find out what we like once we get it all on, but I'm happy to have these, and we're gonna pretty much adjust this to a lot of positive camber to start with, and then we'll see later how we adjust it and how we go. But I'm gonna throw these parts on. They're cool billet parts, and then I'll show the cool little sway bar piece we're gonna put on in a minute as well. Okay, so for example, I'm showing you guys this guy right here. Now we got the caster arm on and the lower control arm. It looks great, and the wheel can get really far in to either side of here without touching anything, which is awesome. The problem we're gonna have now is if you put a sway bar out here and have it come in, obviously it's a problem. So the one we got in, which is from GK Tech as well, what it does is it uses these arms like this to go in like so in here, so that it's not really interfering at all with the wheel. It actually tucks everything up in, which is a really cool piece of kit. It also gives us a little more room for when that oil pan comes in to hopefully it fit better, and then possibly even a future exhaust problem. So we're gonna really quickly put this guy in, and then yeah, it's got a couple adjustment points, so we're gonna see how it looks. Okay, that's on there as much as it feels really weird. And now, whoa, that's a lot of angle. This, I don't have as much angle here. I could be running a ton of Ackerman though, which is okay. I just gotta figure out how to adjust all that later. It's hard to see it, but you can kind of see the caster, which is the angle this is sitting at. So this is a positive caster. Back here would be 0, going back would be negative. That's a decent bit of positive caster on that. We can go a lot more. That first time I put it on, I had to adjust it back just because it was so aggressive. There should be plenty of extra room now. If you look, this is all inside in now. Compared to over here, we have all that area out, which is really cool. So this is all sitting how it was, plus there was a sway bar that went this way like this. Now it is way tighter in. Now it'll be time to get the actual other side on, and then we'll do a quick alignment with the wheels, and then we'll see what this looks like when we turn it. We also have something we gotta put on the wheels before we put it all back together, so we're gonna put that all together after, but first we're gonna throw the other side on and then see what this looks like. But I can already tell the camber gain is gonna be insane. The front of this car is gonna look so sick. And now for the piece de resistance. Spacers, big boy ones. These won't only increase track width, these will also help us clear all of the suspension components we're putting in and allow us to go to maximum angle without touching anything. The increased track width is going to help with stability and a lot of other things, as well as with all our other suspension mods we just did. As you can see, the wheels are definitely towed out a lot, and it'll be easier to see once the wheels are on, but we've got to get some extended ends for our steering rack or for our tie rod ends. So we're gonna order those, but we're gonna throw these on. It's gonna look a little funny, but it's gonna be really cool. No way. I thought I test fitted these. What? The f***? never mind. They don't fit. What the fuck? These spacers have hub-centric rings on them. And of course, I somehow ordered the wrong ones. That's really dumb. That's really sad, because I wanted to put these on and see what it looked like with the increased track width and all that. But I will put the wheels on real quick. We will look at it because I think it's gonna look cool no matter what. I have some like 5mm spacers or something I'll throw on there. Wow, I cannot turn that as much as I thought I could. Oh wow, okay. The Ackerman on these wheels is crazy. So let's go the other way. Why is that? Holy shit. Wow. Definitely binds up at that side, but I think that'll be fixed once. Yeah, I'm out of Ackerman steering. I don't know how you fix that, if you can even. But holy shit, I mean, that wheel is out there. I mean, that is insanity. The spacers are gonna come in, these new tie rods, and it will be back here in 3, 2, and it's done. We ended up getting the end link extenders instead of getting new end links because I couldn't find new end links. As you can see now, the toe out we had is not anywhere half as bad as it is, and it's actually got some toe in now, and it has plenty of adjustment on either side. So I had to make these very specific pieces because nowhere in LA could I find couplers for M12 by 125 pitch. So I welded up my own. Will we run these on the track? Who knows? We'll probably buy something before that point comes, but at least to get it done, I wanted to get it done. And as you can see with the spacers on there as well, we have 1.5 inches of spacer put on, and goddamn does the car look sick. It is wide as hell, and the track width is exactly where I wanted it. The camber is where I wanted it. It just looks so cool, and I'm hoping that all these upgrades will help us be able to learn a lot of adjustment in our alignment at the track, and we're gonna have to learn a lot with this car about the way the alignments work. I do think something is really cool though, which I wanna show you guys. This thing has a crazy amount of steering angle. 1 second. Holy I mean, that is sick. Well, you should have gone more than that. There we go. There's the end of it. And the other way. Yup. This thing is gonna be so cool. I am so excited. It's just time to get a oil pan for this thing, which is coming in any day now. And we've got to put a bell housing on it, which we have. We have a transmission that has to go on, and we have a lot of fitting and testing that needs to get done on this thing in the next coming weeks that will make it drivable really, really, really soon.